We talked about Killer Queen a bit, having to redeem himself, having to go back to winter 2021. I think the same storyline could be said for Artemis. Maybe not as bad, but he also underperformed, and now it's his time to shine again.
Quincy, do you agree?
I mostly agree. I also really like the comp that Cerberus brought to the table. I don't like the Kale as much, but it could still bring a lot of protection to the side of Artemis. And also watch out for the item build, especially Hazmat should watch out, because last time he played against Cerberus itself, he kind of failed to deliver a decent item build, going with the Kraken Slayer as the Wilder's choices, and we really do not want to harbor it too much. Of course, there's still the potential to really get off with Diana Yasuo, but I don't think Wales can pull it off, so Cerberus takes game 1.
Okay, so now the two analysts agree. And let's hand it over to our favorite cake makers, Yule and Carrix.
Yule, are you upset at having to watch one of these bot lanes lose?
You are certainly right that I like both of them. I actually am okay now with Senna losing, because we only ever see Senna Tom Kench, and I really want to have other things in my games. I don't understand why everyone is just picking Senna Tom Kench. Last Senna we saw was with Sejuani, and it looked great. Not in lane, but after
Where's the
later.
Alawi? I know you love that one.
Yeah, that's a fun one. Where's Seraphine? I'm going to stop talking about Seraphine. We have a Ghost Artemis, and we have an Invade too.
Yeah, but CBL, he is a level 1 Tom Kench. He's very powerful at this point, takes a hell of a lot of damage regardless. Artemis has popped the Ghost. They're running on forward, forcing the flash out of the Kench.
Yeah, that's a flash W from Yado to lock down the Kench. We also have the heal force from Ariety. And this bot lane is, oh my god, they are in for a lot of trouble in this 2v2.
That is brutal.
Yeah, Senna against Kog'Maw is really rough in lane, because later in the game you can actually kind of control the Kog'Maw, especially Kog'Maw Lulu. One of the things to counter Kog'Maw Lulu is just poke and a lot of range, which Senna, once she has like 80, 100 souls, can really control the Kog'Maw and force them away from her. But early on in the game, Kog'Maw W actually has more range than Senna, so he just walks her down. Yep, there we go.
Ariadne's dead. Cogmaw's going to go down on the other side, but you take that trade every day of the week. You get first blood on your ADC. It's answered back onto the Tahm Kench. And oh boy, Artemis doing this?
It's very unusual for Artemis. It's not unusual for Kog'Maw. Kog'Maw has been framed for years now, because back in the day, in Season 4, he was a very defensive ADC. No one ever did anything with him in lane. That's not the case with Kog'Maw anymore. He has the highest auto-attack damage in the game, especially level 1. And this is what he can do. It's just... Draven comes to mind as well. Okay. But one of the highest auto-attack damages in the game, and you always want to trade with Kog'Maw. There was a very famous Kog'Maw main, I think a few months ago. Everyone was talking about with the tank Kog'Maw build. They basically said, I want to trade every single time because I know I get more value of a kill on Kog'Maw compared to a kill on any other champion. Yeah, so this is a very, very famous way of playing Kog'Maw.
It makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, I'm excited. We haven't seen Kog'Maw much, and I mean, look at this composition. I actually wanted to talk about something the analyst has touched on in terms of narratives. Not even for Cerberus. They talked about Team Wales and compared them to GE Tigers. And do you know what the GE Tigers did back in the day?
They did a lot of things your way. What are you in particular talking about?
They played a lot of Kog'Maw. They invented a new form of Kog'Maw, Juggernaut. That was GE Tigers, maybe Rocks Tigers back in the day. I don't quite know the timeline. The same team, anyway. And they played these Kog'Maw compositions with Lulu, with a top laner protecting the Kog'Maw, and Kog'Maw just frontlining. And look at this composition. We have supportive characters, a Kog'Maw, even a Kale ultimate just to protect the Kog'Maw. So it's all GE Tigers, but it's on Cerberus' side.
Yeah, it's very true. As Leash has going to come up here, find Killer Queen pilfering his rocks. But no clash, he'll just clean up the little ones. Poss TPing back the lane, and so far we haven't seen great results out of Kale. What do you think about Poss picking it up in this competition?
Yeah, I think it's mostly just a practice composition with Kog'Maw, and they put a lot of X in the Artemis basket. Honestly, if I had to choose one player in the VCS to put X into a basket, that Artemis would be my choice as well, so definitely can understand this one. Kale, it doesn't really fit the VCS style of game, right? We don't really want to scale up too much most of the time. We don't really want to go for defensive top lane positions, so it makes sense that she isn't super successful here, but I think she can definitely work, so look at this Kotma damage.
Fair enough. He just case walking. Ooh, taking the tower shot's not great. The CBL now helping forward. That means Artemis does have to use his ghost to get out of there.
Man, I need to play this now. This looks like so much fun. Ghost Kotma just running at the opponent. He's a scary, scary thing right now, and he's going to build... I actually have no idea what the build is. Probably Blade? Especially considering he's playing against a lot of melee champs with a lot of base HP. So I'd think Blade is probably the strongest item. And Blade, another ADC, basically only sees play because he has an insane power spike with Blade, which is Twitch. Whoa, Hugh!
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Going a little bit crazy here is Ariadne going extremely low, but Huber pops his heal. Leash is here to help out, moves on forward. Can he find the last little bit of damage that he needs? CBL desperately trying to stop him. And with the Killer Queen reinforcement, Leash is in trouble. Leash has gone down.
That was unnecessary. That was the VCS part of Cerberus. They are trying to pick and play like a Korean team, but they still can't contain their inner aggression. And there was no need for this play. Kotma was walking back to lane. And sure, if you get the kill, it's nice, but oh no. This could really backfire now.
We go immediately again, and now Artemis is in trouble.
Oh, he got the kill!
The Cogmore passive, so he got the kill. He can't get closer.
Oh my god!
He can! Kaboom! And there he goes, the revenge!
That's 2 kills for Kotma. Oh, that's the worst possible situation for Wales. They didn't see this damage coming. Honestly, neither did I. Kotma just stood still, just fired his auto attacks, became a tower, as you always do on Kotma. But this early in the game already, and now he has boots. He can just chase down everyone as quickly as he wants. Look at it. How is he able to kill a righty? No, Killer Queen, I mean. It really doesn't look like he would be able to kill Killer Queen in time, but there it is. You get the movement speed buff on the passive. 2 easy kills to Kotma, and suddenly he's 3-2. Who cares about the deaths on this champion? 40 CS, 3 kills. He is very happy.
This is an extremely, extremely strong cog. And look, Killer Queen has to be down here. They have to try and make something happen. I think Huber's going to be in a lot of trouble here. Artemis with no ghost. Does have the flash. Uses it to get away. Hit
Shield?
by the Diana ult regardless. They don't kill him. He gets away. So does Huber. Oh no, you'll wait.
Disaster strikes again, and I think Arighty cancelled an auto attack too. I don't think he would have been kill range, to be perfectly honest, but still, some mechanical misexecutions. I think they're just getting nervous. Kog'Maw is one of those champions like Vayne, like Twitch to a lesser extent, where every time he does something, every time he gets a kill, you're like, oh my, I don't want to play against this. No, I need to do something now. So a little bit of panic reaction maybe on the side of Wales. They invested flash from Killer Queen in the last gank, now his ultimate, and Cerberus walks away scot-free. So, ooh, they could really accelerate the game towards the Kog'Maw. And you have to understand, Kog'Maw in the modern League of Legends game is not actually that much focused on late game. He's a super strong mid-game champion.
Oh, hang on. Well, we might have to get a look at what Kog'Maw can do as he's under tower, bound up. There are 4 members here. They have brought the whole kit and caboodle. Artemis, I don't think he has much of a chance here. Huber can't even really get in range. Maybe he can just get the wave. No, he just wants to get damage onto Ariadne. Good stuff there from Team Wales. 3rd time's the charm.
If at first you don't succeed and so on.
Try again.
Yeah, I think Cerberus, we have to put a little bit of blame on Cerberus. They should be able to anticipate these kind of ganks. Has happened so many times now, and neither Yardo nor Leash were there in position to defend the Kog'Maw. You pick a composition entirely centered around the Kog'Maw. Oh, no time for that. Yardo gets a free kill.
Yardo flashing forward once again, but Zhuhao goes in. I'm looking at the dragon fight though, because look at this pick. Killer Queen on no health. Leash wants to get the dragon. He wanted both, but unfortunately Killer Queen survives on an absolute sliver of health. Yardo still on the hunt, has the E, moves on forward. Killer Queen misses the ult, and he's got no protection from this time. Catch the Devour was already used. Yardo low, but not low enough. BBL next on the target. There's the Sonic Wave going in. Leash doesn't want to go under tower. Needs to be careful. Lulu with the wild growth. The Team Wales bot lane are very low. They need to be careful. Flashing away. Good job there by Ariety as Yado will fall. And now Leash moving back over as Glory has joined the party. W's away to his teammates. And in the end, it's just a 1-for-1, but it's Cerberus who get a dragon.
Wait, come again. That was a 1-for-1?
That was a 1-for-1.
Oh my god. The ECS 1-for-1 does not look like a 1-for-1. The dragon for Cerberus, as always, very nice. They're playing around the bot side, mostly just for the Kog'Maw, but the dragon is a good price as well, especially when Team Wales actually had priority over it. Look at all these pink wards. Both teams are playing with a very high intensity. It's maybe a weird term to use, but I really feel like this game, this early game is higher intensity than some of the others we've seen. Everyone is investing so much to try and make the plan work or stop the plan on the other side. Suddenly, there's CBL on Tahm Kench on 2-0-3 out of nowhere.
Yeah, I mean, normally when you have a series of League of Legends, you know, oh, hang on a minute, as Glory uses the ultimate with Huber here, it's going to have to back off. Normally you have a series of League of Legends, you know, it's like a car. You shift into first and then up and up and up and up and up. This was not even a car. It was a shopping trolley with 10 Vietnamese men in it being pushed down a hill.
Actually, 2 Koreans, but...
Well, 8 Vietnamese men and 2 Koreans, exactly.
Pause, can he get away? Oh, Leash for the counter gang.
Has burned the ultimate. He's trying to... Poss still has that ult, denies some damage. Leash is here, moves on in, gives him the boot. Nagia incredibly low. Lovely pull back there by Killer Queen, though saves his top laner.
Man, today's drafts have been so cool. All these little interactions, all these little fights have so many back and forth. Oh, and Artemis under pressure. He has Ghost though. He could try to turn this one around. A little bit surprised he didn't go for the fight afterwards, because CBL, after using all his abilities, can basically just be auto-attacked for free. They are quite scared, and right now, Cerberus, the spot lane, is probably losing traits. But once the projected, yeah, it definitely is a blade. Once the blade is done, there's no way Team Wales' bot lane wins the fight, especially with such a high HP target as CBL on the Tahm Kench. So they're using the opportunity, their window of opportunity well, because Kog'Maw is just sitting on components right now, not very strong. But it's going to close very soon.
Yeah, that early Umbral Glaive does allow Senna just to get that power spike earlier than every other ADC, even if she does get a little bit set behind. Artemis comes back to lane, continues to farm up. God, he's so quick with that Lulu speed boost. Absolutely zooming through.
But I'm a little disappointed by... Oh, no time for that.
Huber is in trouble. Didn't pull the trigger on the ultimate there. Great restraint. Artemis, you need to be careful. Moving on forward. There are 4 members of the Whales here. 4 of Cerberus. Rift Herald coming to reinforce. They should be able to give these plates over.
Finally, Cerberus actually moves in to defend their Kog'Maw. They picked the Kog'Maw, so please invest some time in it too. Can they actually make the push happen? I think it's gonna clash. Yep, there it goes.
Yep.
Smite not in
all
time.
The gold onto Leash.
And Leash is the one target I want to focus on. He's the newest member of the team. As the analyst desk, oh, Yada, what have you done?
Yado, whoa! Has to use his flash there. Oh no, never mind, that was an E. Actually pretty well done. Gets out by the hair on his chin. Cerberus now lose priority with their mid laner being so low. I don't like that decision.
It's a very strange game to watch because everything looks Team Wales focused and favored. They're basically dictating the whole pace of the game, but it's still super close. They're only 600 gold ahead. The enemy team has a scaling Kog'Maw and a Kayle in the top lane, so it's by no means over in the favor of Wales. But they have so much agency, and I think this could really weigh down on Cerberus as well. Always playing from the back foot, especially as a jungler, especially like a champion like Lee Sin, really hurts you in the long run.
Oh, Nagi is in trouble. Poss charging forward, has the divine intervention. He needs one more E.
He needs an E.
And he gets him.
There we go.
Oh, there it is. And Kale's just got a solo kill your way.
Oh. And we thought about Kayle more as like another tool for the Kog'Maw protection, but of course she can also carry. She's the definition of a carry jungler and a late game threat, so maybe Kog'Maw, yeah, having 2 very, very strong DPS champions in your team just makes it all the much harder for the enemy team to focus one down, right? They have very much a single target composition for the most part, so having 2 targets to care about and then 1 Kayle ulti to keep in mind just makes it so much harder to play the game.
Yardo throws out the claw, gets away before Killer Queen can snap him up in the ult. And now the gold lead is actually turned. It's 400 in favor of Wales. This Infernal Drake should go 400 in favor of Cerberus, I should say. This Dragon is going to be in favor of Wales.
Yeah, and it's a good timer for Wales, actually, because fighting against this Blade finished by Artemis is really, really scary, as I said before. So it's really fortunate for them, or well played, I should rather say, to get this dragon before Kog'Maw can intervene. Because now you really just want to walk away from this Kog'Maw, especially with your high HP targets. We have to consider also that there is a Yasuo into Kog'Maw, which is one of the... Oh, never mind.
Oh, Yardo goes in, lands a 3-man W. Artemis having to navigate around that wind wall, as you were beginning to allude to. CBL jumps on forward, but Yardo's got a lot of stasis to get through. Lee going hard into the back line. The Diana ult is only used on him, and they get away with the kill. And now it's a 1-for-1. Artemis still on the hunt, but won't find anything more.
Yeah, not able to hit anyone. Really bad spot to fight for Cerberus. Yardo saw an opportunity, got a huge CC boost, but no one can follow up over the wall. There's no one else who has the mobility that Yardo has to just appear on the other side of terrain, so he was basically just on a solo mission, and that's AD Kale, by the way, ulting you for no damage whatsoever, just buying time. There are some issues still with Cerberus' team fighting. I really like the idea here, but they need to show us that they actually understand what they're doing with their composition. We had some issues with the exact same thing in the Saigon Buffalo game.
I don't like Killer Queen's decision-making here. And I want to get your thoughts on it as the replay comes out. Where he ults.
I didn't even see anything from Killer Queen.
He does something on leash. They use the Diana Yasuo on only leash.
I don't actually hate it, because, as I said before, no one is actually hitting anyone because of the terrain. So you have one decision could be to try and extend the fight and go onto the backline. It's a little risky, though. You don't really know if you're going to win against the Kog'Maw power. Kog'Maw Lulu is still very potent. Instead, they just said, okay, we actually win on this side of the terrain. Let's not extend the fight. Let's just get the one kill and walk away. So I actually think it's a very conservative choice, which is something we don't associate with Killer Queen whatsoever. Maybe a sign of a breath of fresh air for this player, who was always on the aggressive side of things.
Fair enough. Top lane tower will be going down leash as well with the Rift Herald. Means they might actually push on to try and get 2 towers here. Nagia's just backed. So yeah, ping's coming in. They're going to try and get 2 out of this one. Get more gold onto Poss. Scale this Kale. 3 levels left on the Keck W timer, chat. Get on that one.
Get on that one, indeed. It's AD Kale, and maybe Poss can actually show me why AD Kale is a thing everyone is doing. Apparently it certainly did work against Nagia in the 1v1, so maybe that's most of it, actually just being strong in the 1v1 matchup against Gwen. But we saw one AD Kale attempted already by Hasmid. It looked really bad. It was actually against Poss in their first series, so I hope Poss has already shown us much better results, but let's see what he does later on in the game, because my biggest issue with AD Kale is I just don't really see the point, in team fights at least, because it feels like AP Kale just deals more damage, has more utility, has better damage profile with being able to auto-attack but also burst with ultimate, while AD Kale is just auto-attacking you to death all the time. So let's see what he can do. Good flash.
Good flash.
But that's his flash down for the next 5 minutes. You have to consider that. There was just one ability, and now Artemis, I mean, he still has a lot of protection, and if Poss is there, he can probably live, but that's one of the problems with Kog'Maw. He is not super tanky. You can actually focus him down.
It's true. He has now picked up that butter knife in the rage knife, for those of us that like using real words. Where you were talking a little bit about how Kog'Maw's not just this late game monster anymore. He's actually a much more dynamic champion. Where are these big Where are these big power spikes, and when do you think Cerberus is really going to want to start fighting around them?
Always. He spikes on every single item. That's the interesting part about Kog'Maw. There's so many different Kog'Maw builds because he doesn't need the crit scaling. He doesn't need to rely on 2-3 items coming together, like a Zeri, like something like a Jinx. He doesn't actually scale exponentially with items. His kit is so strong in itself that you just need attack speed and some way of making your auto attacks actually stick. So that's why we have seen people actually go Rage Blade first item, which is troll on every other champion in the game. But it actually works on Kog'Maw. So he spikes with every single item, and on 2 items with a Lulu in a back pocket, he's unbelievably strong. So it would be ill-advised from Wales to go for a fight right now. I think you want to wait for 1 or 2 more items on Yasuo to actually have the threat of bursting down the Kog'Maw.
Well, I think they might disagree because Killer Queen's gone on in. In goes the Yasuo as well. That's a hell of a lot of damage going across. But Artemis gets the KO, uses the Ghost to get out of there. He's able to reposition. Nagia coming in. Poss steps forward, very ill-advised. I think they were actually out of there fairly safely. Yado could be in trouble. Leash kicks away to keep him safe. Ariete going down. And they actually didn't get the dragon in all this time. So really lovely stuff there from Team Wales.
Killer Queen with the killer instinct.
Oh,
really.
Leash, that's a bad decision.
Yeah, just killed his
bound
ADC.
up Artemis. He just killed Artemis.
And suddenly Team Wales is winning the game. They're ahead right now.
That's a shocker.
They just broke the mid tower and they won a team fight against Kog'Maw Lulu when they're on 2 items, which is one of the strongest points in the game. So Killer Queen just making it work with an amazing engage. This is why they picked Diana Yasuo. And yes, Kayle was there to ult Kog'Maw, so he didn't die to it. But he went down to 200 or 300 HP, which means it's basically as good as dead, because he can't auto-attack afterwards.
The thing is, I really want to point out two really notable things. This is lovely. This is really, really good. But I feel like Cerberus can just leave at this point.
Definitely.
But Poss just keeps walking forward.
Why
are you walking forward? Leave!
I think my bigger issue is actually with Yado in the whole game. He has done this now multiple times. He just wants to go in. He engaged this fight, actually. At the start of the fight was just Yado going in, looking for another CC. And yeah, he gets the CC, but this team is not supposed to go in. And once again, we see Yado overstepping his welcome and Artemis having to pay the price, or the whole team, actually. So, not entirely sure about the coordination in team fights. Cerberus used to be our best team fighting team. They won a title with Artemis in winter, being the best team fighting team, but not with these 5 players on the Rift. So they still have to work some of the kinks out, I think. So let's see if they can do it on our screen in this game.
Well, this is definitely a back and forth affair, and it's you can see it in the gold. Basically dead even. 2 dragons to 1 as the game passes that 22-minute mark. 2 items for Kog'Maw, as we said. Senna continuing to scale up as well. I'm keeping my eyes out for a soul check, but I haven't seen one in a little while.
And Kog'Maw is one of those very fun, but also very binary kind of champions. He auto-attacks. So if you have some means of somehow make him not auto-attack, like a wind wall, like perma-CC, he doesn't deal any damage. He can't reposition. He's the most honest ADC in the game. Because he doesn't have any mobility. I mean, he has Ghost in this game, so a little bit of mobility, potentially. But he basically just does what an ADC is supposed to do. He auto-attacks you. He becomes a really strong tower in the late game. He's going for Wits End, apparently. Oh, maybe Trinity, could be. I'm not entirely sure what these items are going to lead to. But
Wits End would make sense against Gwen Diana.
Both teams know exactly how to play around this Kog'Maw, and it's just a matter of, can we let him auto-attack for long enough for you all to die, or can we stop him auto-attacking so we can kill the rest of the team? It's an interesting little mini game, and let's see. I think so far Wilds have really shown us a way to deal with this Kog'Maw. Just jump on him and try to force him away from the fight. You don't even have to kill him. If you just get him out of the fight, if you get away from his W, suddenly you can just fight the rest of the fight against the remaining targets.
One more level on the KEKW timer, as we did see Poss cresting level 15. Now, of course, Kayle level 16 is not what it once was. It used to basically just be an instant win. It no longer is that, but it is nonetheless a huge power spike. As you said, Kog'Maw is very, very honest, but I feel like you're almost playing against 2 very honest champions with AD Kayle, just you have to stop both of them auto-attacking you.
Yeah.
That's when it gets really hard, because I can see this team comp with a Diana or a Yasuo. Yeah, you can stop one, but you got to stop two.
Yeah, and I think, depending on how the game goes, there's a lot to discuss on the analyst desk about the item choices. Was AD Kayle the correct way to go? More DPS maybe than AD AP Kayle, but not quite as much upfront damage. Can they go for this? They have a pink ward in here, but Lee should be able to sniff this one out. And here's Lee Sin, so quite good at stealing these kind of objectives.
Yeah, they've with the TPs, Wales will just back off, but that's great for Wales. Wales just got 2 TPs.
Yeah, the second TP is a little questionable from Post there. I think a little bit too early, maybe. He wanted to be there in time because Kayle is one of those champions. You're not looking for a flank TP. You need to be there for the whole fight. So coming too late is even worse than just arriving, not arriving at all. So I believe Poz may be too scared to actually wait for his TP time. And now 2 TPs on the side of Cerberus burned, while Nagia has his, so he can continue to split push on the side lanes.
Poss will pick up the Scuttle Crab there. Kind of important as there is only 20 seconds left before this Mountain Drake, but so many of the warding resources for both teams are over towards the top side of the river. So there's actually very, very little vision around this Mountain Drake, I should say. Cerberus don't have pride of place for it. They don't have to fight for this one. It's not Soul. They could just try and take a Baron. They do take this really fast.
Yeah, it's so sad though. If you look at the CBL needs to be careful. If you look at the wards right next to Dragon, no time for that. Let's focus on the Baron. It's going down, but not quickly enough.
I think it is quickly enough. It's only 5k health left with a Kayle and a Cosmore hitting it. We just need to see a good smite coming out of Leash. There it is. Now, how many of them can actually evacuate? Yardo flashes over the wall. Leash will follow him. Good sidestep on the damage from the center roll. Yardo with another E. They're all on the run. Team Wales needs to catch them. There's a Diana ult. They will catch on to 1. They take down the Lee Sin, but I think that might be the only one they get, and 4 Baron buffs is a damn good deal.
Get the flash from Cotton. I don't think Artemis had to flash there, honestly. I think he could have just activated his blade and run away. He was full HP. That is a very, very twitchy flash from the side of Artemis, and now that's not available for the next team fight. That's almost as big as an objective as the Baron in itself, because it gives him so many tools to reposition and disengage from Killer Queen's unbelievably quick engage here. They used the Diana Yasuo combo just for 1 target, and I really don't think Artemis had to flash there. So that's now 3 dragons for Wales against the Baron on the side of Cerberus. Still no new items on the Kog'Maw. It's much more about the Kayle now suddenly. Level 16, as you pointed out earlier.
I like that Cogmore being in the game does seem to have sent you back a couple of seasons. Blade is not an active item anymore.
No, but you can still activate it by hitting three auto attacks. Yeah, I think you should have just auto attacked 3 times and walked away. But he was so scared of the Yasuo that he flashed on full HP, already being under tower.
Yeah, it's not ideal, but I mean, they have so much power with this Baron buff that I think it's going to be hard to capitalize on the lack of the flash. They should at the very least be able to take this mid lane tower. And I think Cerberus, they gambled and it came up their side.
Oh, there's the engage, and Artemis got caught.
Artemis, he's got the Kayle ult. He's trying to kite this one out. The Lulu ult as well, but he can't do anything. Stepped far too far forward there, and now they're in trouble. But look at
Kayle
in the alley. You can't fight against the waves in this alley. That's a double kill already picked up. Glory incredibly low. Nagia will get 1 triple kill now. You know he's looking for this Penta. Poss hunting forward. I don't think he can find a Penta, but he might be able to find the kill, as Arietti will be able to back off easily enough. Glory as well does a good solid snake impression, gets a lot more distance. I don't think they'll be able to chase him down, but you cannot go in a choke like that against a level 16 Kayle.
And wait a second, Carrix, was this all just to bait the whole game, where we all focused on Kog'Maw both teams, just for Kayle to be the one to win the whole game? They even used the wind wall against Kayle, but they still chase onto her after using the wind wall, and then this is this perfect positioning, as you pointed out. There's no way you should fight like this. Poz doesn't even have to move, he can just auto-attack for free. He's level... So scary, and that's probably another item, or half an item. Yeah, there we go. He goes for Armor Pen. We talked about Armor Pen on Kayle, potentially being the worst stat in the game to have, but it seems to be the standard build, so what do I know? Let's see if he goes for shoulders again, as Hasmid did in his first game against Cerberus. I hope not. I really hope not.
I hope not too. But regardless, it is a very scary POS. And this is I think what I was talking about earlier. You saw how much they put into Artemis. They used all of these ultimates. He didn't have any effect. But then POS did. And I feel like you could do the same thing onto POS, but then Artemis does it. It's just so difficult to control both of them.
Yeah, that's why we have to keep our eyes on Artemis's and POS's positioning in team fights, because of course the enemy team does bring the AoE potential to hit them both, and if they ever get Killer Queen to hit both POS and Artemis at once, that's probably the key to crack this composition from Cerberus. So the POS and Artemis need to really stand far apart and try to fight from basically two different fronts. It's a very interesting study of team fighting here, because both of these compositions want to do very different things.
POS surprises Nagia, but can't obviously fight into the Hallowed Mist, but he'll just fuck clean waves up forever. You are never taking this tower with POS here as the Sentinel.
You can see he's still dealing a decent amount of magic damage, of course, also having the on-hit effect from the Wit's End, so that's one of the reasons why I really don't understand the armor pan. Especially considering the enemy team doesn't even have that much armor in the first place, so really don't understand this stat or building this stat on Kayle, the champion that just, even if you build AD, her E automatically gives you AP damage, or AP on-hit damage, so yeah, it's probably just shoulders, yeah, for the utility.
Oh, Team Wales looked like they were trying to make a call to potentially backdoor an inhibitor. Realized they were nowhere near fast enough, so all of them have to recall. Nagia will still pick up a tower, and the dragon is not super consequential, so not a horrible passage of play. And your way, we are at 31.5 minutes, and we are within 200 gold.
Yeah, gold doesn't matter anymore. Look at Kotma still refusing to adhere to Riot's item policies. No mythic item for him. At this point, I think it becomes a discussion of actually wasting free stats, not going for any mythic item. Maybe he actually goes for a tank mythic just to get the extra stats, because that's actually quite a bit of just free stats squandered by not having the mythic passive apply. That's 3 completed items, so something like 300 HP for free if you build the Frost, how's it called? I always forget the name. Frostfire Gauntlet, right? So yeah, let's see what he goes for. Might also be something like yeah, there's a lot of crit. He might actually go for randoms. I've seen randoms Kotma multiple times too. So quite interested.
Yeah, I mean, there's an argument for shield bow, obviously.
Yeah, shield bow is a lot of free HP too. That's 210 HP for free just for building the item.
Yeah, like you just kind of want the shield.
That too.
Just because it helps you survive Diana Yasuo a little bit better. But we'll have to see where he does end up going. I do think there are a lot of good options. Cerberus are back out on the map. Baron is alive. But these teams continue just to posture, to poke, and to prepare.
Like a POS just called at Artemis, basically told him, I'm auto-attacking more than you, give me the red buff.
Yeah.
But Artemis just took it this time. Let's see if Artemis dies again. It's probably POS's red buff the next time. Oh, alrighty.
Oh, it's so scary. Artemis, play careful.
Yeah, but I like this from Cerberus, because the thing is, when Artemis goes forward, everyone is prepared for him to get collapsed on, right? So everyone is ready with their abilities. If it's the other way around, if it's Killer Queen coming from a flank with a flash ultimate, you're much less prepared for it. So it's probably actually better for Cerberus to play like this, with Artemis moving this far forward, because it's so much easier to just have your mouses over Artemis, ready with the shields, ready with the ultimate, and then the enemy team really has to think twice about actually engaging on this bait.
Yeah, and he is tasty, tasty bait. POS sitting off to the side. Level 18. Killer Queen. Glory. You have the weight of the world on your shoulders right now. If their engage isn't perfect, the Whales simply don't have a chance.
That was just to spot out the Baron, I guess?
It was Baron, yeah. Yep. It was just clearing Baron.
So Baron is off the table. We have 2 minutes till Dragon is spawning. That's still soul point for Wales. So if they can somehow get a kill before, like 30 seconds before the Dragon spawns, that's a huge
Mountain
asset.
Soul feel kind of useless to you against Kale Cogmore?
The thing with Mountain Soul, yeah, it doesn't feel super great. It doesn't feel like Mountain Soul in Game 1 of SGB against Team Secret, right? It doesn't feel like an instant win condition, but it's always going to be nice, because it's just extra HP. Like, you can never say no to a Mountain Soul. Maybe the 250 HP you get for free can be the difference maker in one of the fights, but it's much more focused on Baron right now. They have insane Baron damage.
The Whales have started it up. Posse's on vision in the bot lane, but Leash knows what's going on. There's the TP. This is going to be a coin flip your way.
Oh no!
There he goes. And Leash will win it! The big Diana ultimate to try and get something done. Posse's unable to contribute to the fight. That's a lovely placed wind wall. But look at Artemis as he comes on forward. He has them corralled in the pit.
Oh, the CC!
Coggin time. Oh no, Yado goes down. Double kill now picked up for Poss. Glory on low health. Could get over towards Leash, and they are all falling by the wayside. This is disaster. They lose the smite fight, they lose the team fight, and they may well lose the game.
It's just a DPS div. They can't deal with 2 ADCs dishing out this much damage. They actually got really decent CC on the Kog'Maw, but then the Kayle started auto-attacking on the other side. Then the Kog'Maw started auto-attacking again. They just don't have the damage to win these team fights. Look at Poss. He can't do anything for such a long time in the fight, so you think, okay, it might be a good opportunity. The Kayle is kind of in a weird spot. Kog'Maw is extended and gets double CC. He can't auto-attack for a full 2-3 seconds, but they just don't bring the damage to deal with both of these carries. And now Cerberus get the Baron, they get the team fight, they will get the Dragon as well, everything coming up Cerberus, and they are certainly in the lead and certainly the favorites to close out this game.
They absolutely are your way. They take that Dragon with ease. And honestly, I think if Leash had maybe just stopped Glory's backs and hadn't died, they could have potentially taken the game, but I'm not 100% sure on that one. But they are trying so hard. This is a 6-0 Glory.
Yeah.
Tragedy that it just feels like he's just powerless.
I just wanted to bring up Glory as well because it kind of feels like the Glory story again. Everyone thought he was finally out of BTS prison, but it seems like he's now in whale prison. Not sure if that's better. He's 6-0.
Glory swallowed by the whale.
Still no IE. I'm not entirely sure if I agree with that decision. Of course, building these items is making him very tanky and very hard to deal with as well. But maybe they just need the little more damage, the potential to one-shot the Kog'Maw or the Kayle, depending on where the Kayle ult goes. I think he might have to go IE. Maybe you sell his GA later on and go for the IE.
Sell GA when it's on cooldown, I guess.
Yeah, he's not on full items yet, so he's not going to do that. But if the game goes on for another 10 minutes, I would be very interested to see if he changes to full damage and just tries to burst on Artemis.
It may well be his only choice as the siege onto the top lane is beginning. Artemis moving forward. They picked up the kill onto Ariete. Yado goes gold.
That's
CBL
insane!
goes down. That has to just be game as Artemis is charging on forward. The inhib is falling. They have a wave behind them. The Baron buff has only 5 seconds left on it, but they are looking at these Nexus towers. Poss on half health. Nagia trying to do everything. Glory, the man of the hour, still alive. Killer Queen as well. They've got their combo, but is it ever going to be enough? Yado can't go in on the claw due to that wind wall. They hit onto Poss. They go immediately.
Oh.
There's the ultimate. No longer available for Artemis, but can they actually do anything?
Artemis?
They're trying. Glory will finally go down. Poss goes low. Now it's onto Nagia, but no, they can't do it. Killer Queen last to fall, and game over, says Artemis, and he's right your way as the Nexus comes under siege. And in a 39-minute banger, it is Cerberus that take the lead.
Cerberus with a great game, just crafting